New map. Do I have map? Ooh. Ooh, it's a vertical map. Oh, wait, no, it's pretty horizontal. Oh my god. It's a big one. This one looks chaotic. This one looks crazy. Alright. Stalking up. We're an exciting new adventure where we somehow have the same number of men even though all of our men betrayed us because, I mean, the game's being fair with its resources, not having the story just rip all of our resources away, I suppose. You hiding back here where we came from? Oh, that's Ake. Got him. Or this is where we came from, so I can't go any further, right? Because that'd be weird. I've got to know, have I suddenly unlocked... Ooh, new background. Have I suddenly unlocked the rest of the upgrades? Ooh. 4 trinkets for Meve. A little scary. I can afford it. It's just thinking about like it just keeps invading more and more of your opening hand and everything. Units excluding artifacts will take 10% less of the recruit cap. The recruit cap is this, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, there's so much to look at here. This is the recruit cap. Weirdly hard to say, isn't it? I think. So we're way overboard. Like, my current deck is cheating. And I need to fix my deck before I go any further, evidently. Let's see, what are my units? Let's see. We know the Manticore trophy already. Elf and Onion Soup. Those guys. I probably know these all already. Okay, not... Okay. Okay, so she's an 8/5. She's kind of expensive. But she... Ooh. Play a card from your deck on order. And then if you use the other guy that regenerates your order, then you can play another one. If in hand, deck, or on battlefield, strengthen self by 2 whenever a Scoia'tael unit's destroyed. So definitely good for anti-Scoia'tael, but that ability to just play something from your deck is pretty strong too. That's an extra play. So she's a strong card. Seems like you'd want to keep her in, yeah. Especially since, yeah, like the order can be replenished by the other character. Exceptions are a clear road to human blood spilt. All Scoia'tael must die, leave the gods to sort out the wheat from the chaff. And she wasn't even in the deck, so now I'm even more overboard. We're gonna have to figure this out. Okay. Gascon is in the deck already. +1 whenever somebody moves. Yeah, he's really not that impressive in his current state. He was way cooler when in the special scenarios before. I still have war wagons, huh? Foragers, Arbalist. Arbalist is not listed as being in here, right? Because I don't think I have. Oh. I can re-recruit my Arbalists if I want to. They're not currently in here at all, right? Got released to having them. I currently don't have them. But if I want to put the bill up, like it's going to be 1,000 gold, 10 recruits, and a lot. 125 wood. Big thing's 1,000 gold if I want to get all 5 of them back. I've lost all of them, which is a little brutal because I paid for some of those, didn't I? Wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. But yeah, those are just gone. Okay. I can probably take the Forager out of my deck just because I don't know if I'll be dealing with any spies. I don't know. We'll see. I have to make this whole thing work before I can even really continue because it should be illegal to play around if I have a deck like this. So it'll probably force me to fix it. There's a guy that attacks 3 dudes. We know about him. Bomber. Sets a row on fire. Scytheman. Familiar. Cavalry. Damage unit by 1, and he just keeps attacking them every turn. He doesn't excite me very much. If he's in the game for a long time, he'll eventually do a bunch of damage, but this guy does 6 immediately, assuming there's 3 targets. This guy slowly attacks someone by 1 every turn. He strikes me as weak, overall. He's the cavalry. And I'm just gonna try to figure out how to potentially weed out some of this stuff. Drummer's the same alchemist. Sets the unit's power equal to the unit on its left. That's just a straight up boost for certain characters, so he seems like he's a cool dude to have around, but he's kind of expensive. Rivian Pikeman, summon all copies of this unit. He's not in my deck, but I still have him. Wagenberg's still around. No, I don't have a Wagenberg anymore, but I can still... Ah. Okay, so yeah, I can still build my Wagenberg. I can get it back if I want to. I just didn't like it very much, and it's so expensive. It's the most expensive unit in the game. It's more expensive than the legend, than like the hero cards I have. That's significant. Infiltrator. Yeah, that's my spy. Goes to the enemy and boosts himself by the person on their right, then comes back. Then, yeah, medic and spike trap. Familiar stuff. Alright, so we're getting closer. Deck cannot be saved. Continue. Oh, I straight up can't leave the screen until I fix my deck. Okay. Huh. Well, Gascon gets strengthened every time anyone gets moved. Ever, basically. So if I play him as a late card, he's pretty strong. I just have to play him late in the game, which is potentially cool. I could commit to using these weird cards. I don't have an Arbalist, which means that the War Wagon's kind of less interesting right now. And he costs 6. I only had 1 already, though. The drummers are fine. Maybe can't afford the medics right now. 2 traps might be too much. Traps are only 4, though. The Scythemen. But they're only 3, so I get rid of all 5 of them, we lose 15, which is not enough. I need to get rid of higher value cards like the Alchemist or the Infiltrator if I want to be able to continue. Alright. These guys don't have any requirements? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm trapped a little bit. Alright, Alchemist, get out of here. Infiltrator, get out of here. Okay. I'm now below the maximum. I can at least leave now. I literally was trapped in that menu. Alright. Let's look at the upgrades I can buy. So this is more trinket slots. This is reduced recruitment cap, which would definitely help with that issue. What are these ones? Increases recruit cap to 150. Ooh. That's even better, I think, than 200. Okay. That's a big deal. Just make that fixes my problem significantly. Decreases the gold cost of creating units by 10%. Okay. Gain 75 to 150 gold for every battle won. Damn. That's even better than what I had. 2 recruits instead of 1. Training grounds. Ooh. Lyrian Scytheman Plus makes their bonus a 7 instead of a 5. Sprays Bomber, sets a row on fire. Oh, it's not a bonus, it's just you can make them then. Grey Rider. After a different ally is played from hand or moved to another row, move next to it and boost it by 1. That one's a weird one. It's like as long as he's on the board, he will like move to certain units and keep boosting them. Oh, that's an interesting little synergy though with Gascon. So every time you everyone you play after Grey Rider will move to that guy and boost him. And every time he does that, he's making Gascon better by boosting him by 1. So that could make Gascon really scary eventually. While also, so that's eventually a +2 for every unit played for a while there. Huh. There's the armory. Okay, Rivian Pikeman 2. Summon all copies of this unit. Is he just better? Oh yeah, he's a 5 instead of a 3. So that makes him much more reasonable. A sapper. Damage unit by 2 if it was destroyed, repeat the ability. You can just start taking out a bunch of weakened characters. Lyria Hajduk. Give 1 charge to the card on the right. Otherwise it's just a 5. He's kind of a disappointing version of my other hero character, basically. Huh. But giving a charge on command can be worthwhile, potentially. Stray's Den. There's the Slinger, the Cavalry, and the Stray's Bomber Plus. Add fire to an enemy row and double the chance it will damage enemies. Ooh. I think fire is a 1 in 3 chance of damaging enemies. So that makes it a 2 in 3 chance. Workshop. So we already have Workshop 2, which gave us Crushing Trap Forager. 3 will give us a Pitfall Trap. Damage all enemies on this row by 2. Whenever a unit appears in this row, damage it by 2. So it damages everyone immediately, and then it continues to damage people based on movement. You can finally recruit your own field medics at that point. And the Lyrian Pathfinder. Clear all row effects on the side. After 3 turns, draw a top card from your deck. Yeah, I like that guy. I like the idea of him that he draws extra cards for you. You have to play him earlier than later so that the effect can happen, but that's still a chance to draw more cards. Which this game is really stingy about card drawing because they knew it was overpowered in the last one if you could abuse it. Wasn't it Spies that let you do it or something? I had a deck that was built around it. I don't remember what it was though anymore. The War Wagon bonus, that's 3 light infantry bonus pluses. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that in action before. The light infantry pluses damage more when they die, and they this spawns more of them, so it's just a big bonus. Lyrian Blacksmith. Play a trinket from the graveyard and give it doomed. Doomed. I forgot what doomed does. But it does something that stops. I think it makes it not continue the next turn or something. I don't remember. But that's interesting. Oh yeah, there's the adept. Choose a bronze ally and add 2 copies of it to your deck. To your deck though, so you have to have a way to draw it to make that worthwhile. Let's just go for the 150. Shit, I have to go this way. I have to go this way first. I can afford it though. Yeah. Alright, so minus 10 cost, 150 deck cap. I can go to 200 or I can go for reducing the... I can't afford that yet, but that'll reduce its cost. And yeah, this says recruit cap is 150, so what I suspected was right. That number is the recruit cap. I cannot enunciate that back-to-back words. Recruit cap. So 150 gold and I'll be able to buy this one, which will make my items cheaper in addition to lowering the cap. And my deck will have more range at that point. Now I can actually recustomize my deck after they did that to me. Bring back in whatever I think I want to bring back in. I like the infiltrators, they seem neat. Not so crazy about the pikemen. I'm down to only having 2 pikemen. I had more of you before. I bought more of you and they took them away? That's rough. Huh. But no, I want to have a better version of the pikemen before I start filling my deck with that crap. It just doesn't seem cost effective unless it's stronger. Bring those alchemists back. That takes me right to the cap. It's weird. Stray, my only old units are the medic and the scytheman. No, there's a drummer in there, which are really odd units. The core of my power, which was like war wagons and arbalists and whatnot, are just outside of my deck right now. I might go back to them at some point, but right now I kind of like the idea of embracing my deck just being different. This turns someone into a bear. The bronze card's potentially pretty strong, so I kind of like the elf and onion soup. This one's a weird one. Destroy the highest ally and play 2 allies from your graveyard. I guess that's why it's called Vengeance, huh? Is if they start destroying my units, then I'll be in a situation where my top ally is something that sucks because they killed all my cool ones. and then you play Vengeance to have a comeback where you destroy that guy and play 2 tough guys that they destroyed that you are bummed that are gone right now. That's probably what that's for. It's just certainly tempting to go with something like Decoy instead, which has its own power. Like the ability to replay Reynard to give everyone charge again. I don't know, we'll go with this deck for now. I'm sure I'll change it plenty. Oh, there's a lot. Report the situation in Aedirn. With Lyria and Rivia taken, full strength of Army Group East redirected against Aedirn. Fierce Aedirian resistance, but border posts fell. King Demavend pulling back from small garrisons and concealing forces in heavily defended fortresses. Rosberg, Algersburg, Vengerberg, significant increase in Scoia'tael activity. Attacks on merchants, refugees, but not Nilfgaardian convoys. All evidence indicates Scoia'tael working with enemy. Oh, great. Appeal to folk of Lyria and Rivia. Pamphlet distributed in Lyria and Rivia. Queen Meve cares not a whit of your interests. Instead of seeking peace with the Nilfgaardian Empire, she has chosen pointless resistance, sentencing you all to annihilation. To save their subjects from this fate, the Council of Peers decided to remove the Mad Queen from the throne. In her cruel lunacy, she defied our ruling, spat upon our laws. She has fled the country in cowardice and seeks now to sow havoc. Yeah, she fled the country because you were planning to execute her after taking the throne from her. The rightful monarch is Meve's eldest son, Willem. He shall be advised in this difficult time by Count Caldwell. The meadows of Lyria and Rivia shall blossom under the light of the golden sun. Ah, golden sun. Long live the Emperor. Letter from Captain Tobias. The first, or one? Why does it say one? Your Majesty, though we spoke to each other not long ago, I have no doubt you do not recall my name. I am the guard who stopped you as you fled Lyria. The guard who doubted you. Your Highness, once more I apologize for my cowardice and thank you for giving me a chance to repair my error. I cannot save Lyria from the Nilfgaardians' talons, but I can write you about their secrets. I have won myself a post at this place. I shall keep my ears open, and if I learn anything, I shall inform you at once. Gods grant you luck, my lady. We await your return. Captain Tobias. Oh, goodness. We may nary see a card in this episode. We have a lot to update.
Yes, Your Grace?
How has it come to this? I, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia, must prowl about the underbrush like a common bandit. And you, General Reynard Odo, once proud commander of 4 elite regiments of footmen, now lead a gang of deserters, bandits, and scythe-wielding peasants.
I do so proudly, Your Grace.
You must be joking, Reynard.
Your Majesty, under your husband I served 10 years, under you another 8, and never in that time did I fight for a more worthy cause. We seek not to grab land or stifle a peasant revolt. We fight for all the North, for our freedom, that of others. And you alone didn't give up. Didn't even consider bending the knee before Nilfgaard.
Yes, all true. Yet look where it's brought me.
Your struggle has but begun, Your Grace, and I will do all in my power to see you triumph in the end.
I cannot forgive myself one thing. That I failed to see through Caldwell's schemes. He must have plotted treason for months, years even, yet I suspected nothing.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Your Grace.
Easily said. Oh, if I'd only realized it in time.
Nilfgaard would have found a different traitor, or sent an assassin north. It was unavoidable what happened, The Blackclads would have attacked in any case, and we'd have stood no chance to defeat the foe in open battle, repel him, drive him out.
So, had you been there when the peers assembled, you also would have voted to bend the knee?
No. My honor would never have allowed it. I'd have thrown myself into the fire and probably died a fool for it. As matters stand, I still have a chance to thwart the invader, his intentions. It seems, in a twisted turn of fate, I should be grateful to Caldwell.
It's time I attended to other matters.
We got the quote. I think that's the quote on the bottom of his card, is that he's never had a more worthy cause. And so he just said that now.
Your Grace, how fortunate you're here. Behold what wickedness is afoot.
I'm trying to behold Sir Ake, yet I cannot be sure what.
Reynard and Gascon, my lady. Caught in the act of playing face cards.
Oh, that. Indeed they are. Good.
Good? Games of chance, good. Why, they are evil's very claws. Corrupting, tearing at the soul, seeping venom into the heart.
I wouldn't worry about Reynard's heart, Sir Ake. As for Gascon's, too late already, I fear. Besides, they're getting along, that's what matters. If cards do the trick, so be it. Does the good book contain an answer to every question?
Each and every query, without exception.
What does it prescribe a mother betrayed by her son? Tender forgiveness or unflinching firmness?
A moment while I ponder. There's a verse in chapter 2. A child who doth with waywardness defy his mother and father deserveth discipline most severe. Strike him thus heartily, unless thine heart stilleth thy hand.
But one could interpret that any way one wishes.
To thine own self be judge and ruler, spoke the prophet Lebioda. For thou alone shalt answer for thine deeds before thee.
There's a certain wisdom to those words.
Yes, Your Majesty. One need but gaze deeply into the verses and oneself.
Farewell, Ake.
Interesting. It's interesting that that has such a nuanced, vague answer, leaving open so much room, but then when it comes to playing card games, there's a much more severe, strict outcome. There's way less room for multiple interpretations, apparently.
So, Gascon, the soldier's life, does it suit you?
About the same as the bandit's life did.
I beg your pardon?
The tents are cold, the food's shite. On the plus side, plenty to drink, most days. A skirmish here, a scuffle there, Nilfgaardians one day, elves the next, and whoever we rout, we rob of what they've got.
Requisition, you mean? Fully in accordance with the laws of war.
Oh, please. Save your excuses for your father confessor.
The Duke of Dogs. Whence the name?
Not certain I should tell you. It's a personal story, somewhat.
I insist.
So, thing is, I'm a werewolf of sorts.
Did I hear werewolf?
Of sorts. You see, when the full moon glows in the night sky, I transform into a creature that's half man, half dachshund. And then all the other hounds of the night hearken to my command.
Oh, forget I asked.
With pleasure.
I can't stop wondering. How did your strays break into the tower in Lyria?
They exploited its chief weakness.
What weakness is that? I oversaw its construction myself. Walls 5 feet thick, bars and grates of the sturdiest iron.
People.
All tremendous, I'm sure. But how much do you pay the guards?
What? I don't know. The garrison's commander is in charge of that.
Let me tell you then. Not much, Meve. Not much at all. From atop a throne, it's hard to spot the little things. Example, a guard hard up for coin, or one with ambitions. But seeing that's second nature to even the most ordinary bandit. Take any castle door. To open it, to open all, one needs but a pouch of gold.
It's time I attended to other matters. Farewell.
I knew where he was going with that. Yeah, you're a giant perfect place, but everyone's corrupt. Everyone's easy to infiltrate. I mean, she was just betrayed by her entire order. She shouldn't be that surprised about the idea that you may be able to turn a guard.
How fare you, Rayla? The quartermaster, did he assign you a tent?
He tried.
Oh, and...
I refused it. Best to sleep beneath the stars. Little chance of a foe catching you off guard.
Rain accepted, perhaps?
I'm not made of sugar, ma'am. I'm not gonna melt.
One sees very few women in the ranks, let alone in the special forces. How did you come to join?
On merit. Proved I'd be of use.
Yes, well, naturally. But how exactly?
I was 15 when I went to enlist. But the sergeant in charge of signing folk up told me to scurry on home. So I proposed a wager. Arm wrestling. If I won, he'd let me join. If I lost, I'd pay him 100 crowns.
And that kind of coin? You had it?
No, so I had to win. As we sat down at the table, across from each other, he laughed and rolled up his sleeve. When it was over, all around us were laughing at him. Then I just followed orders. Did so well enough to draw the king's attention.
I must go. We'll speak later.
That had a slightly abrupt ending. Maybe it was because of the way she went up at the end of her sentence, or I was expecting another follow-up.
Oh, quiet in here. Not at all like the airy bear. Milady, they're an Aedirn in our ranks. Man calling himself that ran up quite the tab last night, then disappeared with nary a trace. Ah, if a troubadour paid us a visit, wouldn't that be something? Imagine Master Dandelion performing here.
Dandelion's world famous. It's very confirmed. Like, I think it's kind of set up like something that Geralt doesn't quite believe when Dandelion talks about it, but then quickly becomes true. Verified as true, like, constantly. Did I not look at this? Maybe I didn't. Forager Plus. Destroy 2 cards to the right. If they were units, boost self by combined power. If it's an artifact, boost self with current power instead. That's an interesting one. I suppose since the Forager starts off being strong already, if you take the Forager and you stack a bunch of units together like that, then if you use Lyrian Wine or the Alchemist, you can make another person as strong as that overpowered Forager. And then it starts to make more sense. You gotta have some sort of way to, like, duplicate that power or use it in some way, just because the act of just getting it from point A to point B is a weird case of a net zero. Although I have said before, a noteworthy use for it does seem to be if you use it on a spy, which I haven't verified or used myself yet, but I think it would work that way.
Gods! The entire country up in flames.
Ebdahi warned punishment awaited Aedirn, that he would show the land no mercy.
What in God's names did you do to him, Rayla?
Nilfgaard offered us an alliance against the rest of the north, but Demoven declined, in his clipped soldier's speech. They say Ebdahi flew into a rage and swore he'd reduce Aedirn to rubble.
Well, shit. I believe that's the direction we're going into. Yep. Here's the big crevice. And then there's just fires all throughout that central area. Even the people on the map look like they're suffering. So our goal is to get down there. It's probably, yeah, the guy that they just said that rejected the offer. I would imagine that we're probably going to be going around this area, solving his problems and helping him, so that he then in turn will help us and pledge himself to us. Because otherwise we're in big trouble. Alright, no card game this episode, but we had a lot of maintenance to do. Make sure our deck was working correctly and talk with all the characters and so on. But look forward to a new map from here on out. And yoink. And fast travel point established. Alright. I can actually afford that now, can't I? Thing I wanted. There we go. Can't get the next one until like the next map apparently. Yep, I'm now at 124 out of 150. What's a card I knew the cost? Yeah, Alchemist used to be a 9, now he's an 8. Scytheman used to be a 3, now he's a 2. Pikeman's a 4 instead of a 5. Yeah, just a bunch of them are just a bit easier to work with. Alright, that recontextualizes what we can jam in this deck again.